If I said Wednesday's meeting has been moved forward 2 days, does that mean the meeting is now on Monday or Friday? Think about what your answer would be. Pause the video if you have to, but it should be pretty obvious, right? Friday. At least that's what I thought. But turns out, like half of all English speakers think the answer should be Monday. Turns out this is kind of like the dress, where we can all look at the same thing, but come to two very different conclusions. English speakers are split as to whether moving forward in time means further away in the future or closer to the present. But why? Well, the concept of time is not easily perceived or measured, so we have to analogize it somehow. And in English, we analogize time as length, which is why we can talk about a long time or a short time, or measure distance in units of time. But English speakers can analogize this in two different ways. First, there's the ego-moving perspective, in which time is seen as static and you progress through it. So if Wednesday's meeting has been moved forward 2 days, then you view it as being pushed into the future. But there's also the time-moving perspective, where you view yourself as static and time flows through you. So if Wednesday's meeting has been moved forward 2 days, it's closer to the present. And research has shown that English speakers switch between both perspectives depending on context. Like if there's something in the future you're looking forward to, you're more likely to adopt the ego-moving perspective. Or if there's something in the future you're dreading and don't want to arrive, you're more likely to adopt the time-moving perspective. Still, most people tend to default to one of the two perspectives, as hopefully exemplified by the earlier question. And how you answer that question, by the way, might say more about you than you think. Research suggests that people with the ego-moving perspective are more likely to be extroverted and to feel in control of their own lives, but they're worse at perceiving time, and so they're more likely to procrastinate and to be late to things. Meanwhile, people with the time-moving perspective are more likely to be conscientious, punctual, and procrastinate less. However, they also tend to feel less control of their own lives, and may even score higher on anxiety and depression. At first, it's a little scary to think that something as simple as the way you analogize time can have such an impact on your perspective and personality. But remember that we're already switching between the two perspectives depending on context. And though this area of research is still kind of new, there is limited evidence to suggest that you can consciously intervene, adopting a different mental framework of time and still enjoying many of the benefits. If nothing else, I hope that going forward, you're a bit more conscious about the way you perceive time.